Welcome to Frugal Family Gardens. My name is Julie, and I got some goodies. Olivia and I went into the grocery store the other day. I'll be talking more about this on our big channel, the Frugal Family, but I am going back to couponing and bargain shopping, bargain hunting, because damn, prices right now, am I right? Holy cow. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing that on the Frugal Family. But anyway, as we were in the grocery store, we happened to pass by, of course, the seed displays. And I made a promise earlier, and I'm sticking to this promise, that I am not buying plants, no new plants this year for the gardens unless, what was the caveat? Unless they are clearance. Well, I have stuck to that. These are not plants. These are seeds. You love my rationalizations and justifications. Okay, so my seedlings at home are doing really well. Some, others not so much. We are doing round 2 right now. Remember, like the Cosmos, the Sweet William, was it also the Lupins? None of those did well. They came up too fast. They got either burnt or too leggy or whatever, so I had to seed them again and then adjust their water levels and the height of the grow lights. So anyway, it's different this time, and those little changes, sorry, I'm sweating like a pig. I've been running all over this morning trying to get stuff done. I'll talk more about that on my grown-up channel, Frugal Mama's Time Out, where I document my health journey. Anyway, so I've been adjusting the different things. As I've said many times, all of my gardening, it's experiments. Self-taught, watching lots of Gardener's World, and then learning the hard way. Sometimes we win, sometimes we fail, but I document it and I learn from it, and then I try different things until finally I either find success or I give up and move on to something else. How's that for honesty? So I will be starting these, but I'm going to do some in trays, some in little cups, and others, well, and I'm also going to incorporate heat mats under, because I have a heat mat that my brother gave me ages ago and I've never used it. And then I'm also going to do like I did last year and put some out in pots, sow them straight out into the pots outside, label them with the date and, you know, whatever it is, and then kind of see what happens when they start coming up, thin them out, let some get strong, possibly move some elsewhere, just to kind of see how it goes. Because we did really well last year. Excuse me. Health issues. What can I say? Guts. Biles. Things. We did really well last year with several of them, specifically the chamomile and the purple basil. Those went nuts. Oh, and the scarlet morning glory, that one was insane. It did really well. And what else? Was it rosemary? I think also did really, really well. Anyway, and most of those have popped up little volunteer babies also this year, which is fantastic. I love it. So we're going to try some more and see how that goes. So we've got nasturtiums. These are fantastic for growing with vegetables. And I'm going to be growing tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, pumpkins, other squash. What else? Tomatillos. And then like assorted greens, you know, spinach and lettuce and stuff like that, broccoli maybe. But anyway, so I am going to put nasturtiums because I did finally last year find success. That was my 3rd or 4th time trying to grow nasturtiums, and finally I made it work. Something I'm running into that I'm finally figuring out after years of trial and error, especially in the patio garden where we get absolutely the most scorching sunlight, especially with the house being white and it all just reflecting onto the cement. I'm learning finally, hey, you got to do things a little differently out here. And the years of trial and error are helping me to find different solutions. So one thing I'm definitely doing this year is grouping them, which I should have been doing from the beginning. I know that now anyway, but I'm going to group them by their water needs. So we have, like, for instance, Mediterranean plants like rosemary. They don't need much water. They do need water, but they don't need much. And then you've got all these others that, oh God, they need lots of water. And you've got your succulents and your different things. I need to, instead of trying to have them all together so that I have all of these fun textures and everything, no, I need to group them so that they're getting the right water amount. If I had the time and the energy, what I could do was, have them color coded or a little sign in each one that, these are the, water twice a week. These are the water every day. If I had time for that, and maybe someday I will, then I would absolutely do that. But it's just not realistic or reasonable right now. So instead, I am going to group them. This will help us save on water and on wasting plants, because there are so many of them that just don't like their feet wet. And then there's others that are thirsty all the time. So I'm going to work harder at having that situation figured out. Anyway, but these will be with our vegetables and also elsewhere because they're gorgeous. Then we have spinach, and I have grown spinach successfully many times. Ooh, I forgot to get kale. I was gonna get kale. I've grown kale pretty successfully before also. Totally forgot to pick that one up. Well, we'll add it to the list. But anyway, spinach. This is the Bloomsdale Longstanding, so variety. And then these are heirloom seeds. It's Boxcar Willie tomatoes. Never heard of that, but we'll give it a try. Then we've got broccoli, DeSico broccoli. I don't think I've ever successfully grown broccoli. Have you? Tell me in the comments. Do you have any tips, tricks, ideas for what made it work really well for you? Am I too late on this one? No, I'm not. I am not, because this says that you can direct sow between April and June. And we are nearing the end of April, so we should be just fine with that. But the other thing I'm going to be very particular about this year is reading the damn instructions on the back of these, and then also researching each of the plants and giving them the specific attention, the requirements that they need. Instead of putting so much energy and money and time into getting more plants and more fun and I want to actually focus on the ones that I actually have and take care of them and feed them often and, do those things, those detailed things that a frugal person, should actually be doing. So we're doing that. And then we have marigolds, and these are the French double dwarf mixed colors. French double dwarf mixed colors. Say that 10 times fast. And then peppermint. This one I'm going to be so careful. This is only going in a pot because it will take over. There's so many of them that do that, like oregano. What's the other one that just totally will take over the whole damn place? Anyway, you got to be careful with those. They will take over. And peppermint is notorious for that. When I was growing up in California, we had so much peppermint. Peppermint and anise. And they were so fun to go around and crinkle and then, it smells like candy, yum. But they go everywhere. They go absolutely everywhere. So these will be in pots. And is this, let's see. Yeah, it even says back here, suggestions. Rampant grower. Boy, that's really rampant grower. Best confined to containers to restrict roots. Store dried mint in airtight container. That's another thing. I was talking to my brother this morning because I was lucky enough to catch him. I'm at my brother and sister's house, and I caught him this morning before he went to work. And we were talking about all of the, different herbs and spices and everything, and how I almost never use them. And he was like, get out of my house. He's a cook. Okay, he's amazing. My brothers have amazing cooking abilities. My sister can bake like nobody's business. Me, I am loud. I'm a great cheerleader. I'm a fantastic cheerleader. Anyone will tell you that. But I just don't have skills in those particular areas. But that doesn't mean I can't learn, or at least give the herbs and the spices to my daughter. See, it skipped a generation with me, and she's an amazing cook. She made a fabulous dinner last night. Oh my good God, it was so delicious. It was just seriously spectacular, which was wonderful because I was not feeling good. Like I said, documenting that on my grown-up channel, Frugal Mama's Time Out. Mama's on a journey. In fact, tomorrow, when I'm recording this, it'll be tomorrow, I have a CT scan. Anyhow, I can grow, gather, and store these different plants for my daughter to use. in her cooking endeavors. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. I will be doing some research, which I will of course be presenting on here as I learn about it and get your experiences, your ideas, and we'll learn and grow together. Oh God. And grow together. And then pumpkins, and these are specifically jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Many of you know, I mean, yeah, it's April, and look at the way look at me. I love Halloween. I embrace the darkness and magic and whimsy of Halloween. It's a thing for me. I just love it. All year, I love it, but especially, of course, in the fall. And we do carve pumpkins, and we used to grow our own. There were a few really good years where we had taken the ones that we had bought and then planted, well, not even really planted, but kind of mulched, kind of threw the remains and seeds that we had scooped out and stuff out into a really nice area out in the Wonderland garden. And of course they came up and we were able to harvest them, and we did that a few times. But for the last several years, we just have not been doing that. It's just not happened. So we will be growing our own from seed this time that we purchased, sadly, but we are also going to this fall dump all those out into a really good spot out in the garden and see what happens. I do have some out in the front yard that had been rotting away on the porch, and I just dumped out in a spot. I'm not sure. I had thought originally, oh, I'll cover that over with dirt and see what happens, and then maybe I could build a trellis out here, but it's so close to a window, which is an escape route for the basement, fire escape route, that I'm like, that might not be the best idea. Plus, are they going to get enough of the right amount of sun? Because that only gets the afternoon sun. So I probably am just going to scoop all those up and move them into either a pot. I've never grown pumpkins successfully in a pot, and I was reading an article about it the other day, so I do want to try that. So maybe I'll do that with those. Those are left over from a pumpkin from last year. A white pumpkin. Don't know if you can tell anymore in the picture, but white pumpkin. So what I can do, sorry, you're hearing me thinking out loud. We're brainstorming together. You guys are an amazing sounding board. Do you know that? You really are. You guys help me. It's like almost as useful as when I come up with ideas in the bathroom. That's where I get my best ideas, is on the throne. But anyhow, I think I'll put some in a pot and grow them on the patio where we get so much sun, and then I will grow some out in the Wonderland. It'll be an experiment. Let's do that. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Okay, back to herbs and spices. These are broadleaf sage. Have I grown sage successfully? I don't think so. Not that I can remember, not that I can recall. So we're going to give this one a try. And this is fun. I love that these give suggestions. They give planting instructions and, an idea about the dish, or the dishes you can make, but they also give these fun little suggestions. So always check, see if your particular brand of seed packet includes some ideas, some suggestions, and heck, why not give them a try? Plus it's ideas for video content, so I have to look. For storage, cut top 5 inches of stalks before flowering, good to know, in early summer, and dry leaves in the shade. Repeat as new growth develops. Sage will thrive as a potted plant. Then something else, this is describing the plant itself. Perennial herb. That's good to know. To be honest, I don't know that I know the difference between herbs and spices. Herbs and spices. We're looking it up. I happen to have my laptop right here. Let's see. Herbs. Difference between herbs and spices. Herbs and spices are not the same thing, although they both come from plants. Herbs are the leaves. Oh, here we go. Herbs are the leaves of a plant such as rosemary, thyme, sage, and oregano. Spices like cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, and pepper come from the other parts of the plant. The roots, bark, flowers, berries, or seeds, which are usually dried and often ground. We just learned something. Okay, I learned something new. And you got to watch me learn something new. How exciting is that? Knowledge is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And very useful too. So, good to know. Herbs are the leaves, spices, the other stuff. That's awesome. 41 years old, and I just learned that. Hot damn. Okay, so sage. What else does it say about it? The most popular of all herbs for seasoning because of its mildly pungent flavor and pleasant aroma. May be used fresh or dried in stuffing and in pork or cheese dishes. The attractive plant can be used for gray accents in the flower garden. Fantastic. And then dill. Oh, dill, my nemesis. I have never successfully grown dill, whether from a plant that I bought or from seed. Why? What have I been doing wrong? We seek to find that out this time. I am going to study. I am going to read up. I'm going to watch videos. I am going to figure out, damn it, how to grow dill. Hear this now, because this is going to happen. It's an annual herb. Oh, God. Ooh, and they mock me. What does it say right here? An easy to grow herb. I have words for you, Fairy Morse. Green or dried seed clusters are used primarily in making dill pickles. Fresh young leaves are used for flavoring salads, soups, meat, and fish. The plant is highly aromatic and bears large yellow flowering heads. Harvest leaves just as the flowers open to preserve leaves. Dry them at 100 degrees Fahrenheit for seeds. Hang clusters in warm, dry place with tray beneath to catch seeds. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some serious studying on this one because I will conquer this one this year. So let it be written. Okay, then we have parsley, and I've done really well with parsley. I have no problem with that. And if you wanted, the deets, it says biennial herb, a very nice flavor that is a favorite for fresh use or drying. The dark green leaves are very attractive as a garnish, easy to grow. Ooh, but important note, soak the seeds overnight in warm water. Cucumber. And these ones are pickling cucumbers. Pickling perfection. So hopefully, I can hope, okay? I can try, and I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's probably an omen of how it's going to go. Oh, God. And then one of my absolute favorites, coleus. Beautiful way to add color to a shade garden. It's an annual, a favorite for its large velvety leaves in many rich colors, combinations of red, green, and yellow predominating, making this a superb ornamental plant. Coleus develops rich colors if shaded from afternoon sun. Love coleus. More nasturtiums. Are they a different one? Yes, they are. So where the ones I already showed you were dwarf jewel mixed, these are tall single mixed. Olivia picked this one out. Olivia is my oldest daughter. She was the one that was with me whilst I was getting all of these. These are purple tomatillos. I grew up with tomatillos. I'm half Mexican. Many of you know this. And but we never had purple. But we did have green always in our backyard. And they would just pop up as volunteers every year. And of course, my family used them regularly. So, but I have never used them. To my eternal shame and to my ancestors' sadness, I have not used them. But my daughter will. Purple ones anyway. More marigolds. These ones are fantastic. These are the Cracker Jack mixed colors, and they get 2 to 3 feet tall. Huge fluffy blooms in citrus colors. Aren't those gorgeous? More basil, but... Oh, no, I didn't already do a basil. I did a spinach. What did I do? Okay, so this is just regular sweet Italian basil. And this last year, I grew purple basil really well and got tons of seeds and tons of volunteers. But unfortunately, I didn't harvest any of the basil. We're going to do better this year. So this year, we will have green and purple. Hollyhocks. I absolutely love hollyhocks, and I have several hollyhock plants, but I want more colors. So hollyhocks, fabulous way to add height to your garden, but often you need to support them or stake them because they get ginormous and then it rains or there's a good wind and it just... More rosemary. These are heirlooms and they're, what a fun name, black Krim tomatoes. Foxgloves. I had the most gorgeous foxgloves in the former shade garden in the front yard. And I don't know what happened, if in the digging and the this and the that, but they haven't come back up. Like, they didn't come up this last year, and I have not seen a sign of them coming up this year. So they're probably gone. I don't know. It's one of those things, but I was looking forward to them every year. They were just a beautiful pink. I loved them. We're bringing foxgloves back into the game, and these are Excelsior mixed colors, and they get 3 feet tall. Now, where am I going to put them? Obviously not in the front yard. I don't have a shade garden there anymore, but I do have several spots around the yard where I could put them. I'm actually maybe going to do a driveway garden, like on the house side of the driveway, thinking about it. We'll see. Just to add some color and to take advantage of the north facing wall there. Add some beauty over there. And then definitely in the new shade garden that hopefully I'll get working on at some point. We've got to get this whole medical situation figured out, get my guts figured out before I really make any big plans. Like, let's just be practical. That has to happen. But anyway, foxgloves are coming back. And finally, this is kind of a wild card. This is me going out on a silly limb here because why not? This one is Italian Choice Rocket Salad Coltivata d'Orto. So it's rocket. I have heard Monty Don on Gardener's World from the BBC. I have heard Monty Don talk about rocket many times, and I looked up like the translation. It's just a type of lettuce, but you guys call it rocket. We call it something else, some kind of lettuce. It says, a very rustic looking plant with indented leaves, rocket salad is rich in vitamins and minerals and is ideal for mixing with lettuce to have a salad with a variety of textures and flavors. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to see how it goes. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I don't know, mostly just excited. The problem is it kind of looks like a weed. Doesn't it kind of look like a weed? I don't know. If you're in Utah, you might agree with me that it kind of looks like a weed. But it will be marked. I will have, a little stake there. I showed on our main channel, the Frugal Family, that I have all these plastic knives and forks from dumpster diving that I'm going to use again as labels. Well, I haven't used them before, but that's what I did last year, was used a bunch of plasticware as labels. They tend to last for, the season, but then the Sharpie wears off. So you could always touch them up and make sure to redo them before you forget what they are. I'm going to be doing that this time. But yeah, I'm not buying plant markers ever again. I used to buy the little stakes and not anymore. Plastic knives, plastic forks. That's the way to go. Anyhow, Frugal Garden friends, we have a lot of fun coming up. I am so excited to see how these do and to experiment and to learn and to share all of that with you. So if you are not yet subscribed, I do hope that you will subscribe and come along for all the gardening adventures this year. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you real soon.